Hello, this is Peggy Whispers in Chaos, and today we're going to make some bread together. So, what you see is the finished product that I made with my own hands. Let's see how I make it from the beginning till the end, step by step. Okay, so I'm adding 250 ml of water and a pinch of sugar, because the sugar will help the yeast work properly for the making of the bread. And now I'm going to cut up 2 packets of dried yeast. I'm going to add this into the water. This is half the water that we're going to use. We're going to use 500 ml in all. Okay, now I'm going to add the second packet of yeast. Sorry, it's a bit hard to do with one hand. Okay, just put that in there as well. Okay. There we go. And now I'm going to stir everything with a chopstick, and I'm gonna let it settle for just a few moments so that it all becomes one and all the yeast gets in the water. And I'm going to finish sifting the flour. I used 1 kilo of white plain all-purpose flour and 0.3 kilos of wheat flour. The wheat flour is this yellow flour that you see. It's a bit heavier and less fine than the white flour. So after I sift this one as well, I'm going to put this away. I'm going to slowly take a spoon and add the flour bit by bit. There we go. I'm going to add bit by bit some of the flour in the mix. I won't add even half of the flour now because there's not enough water in there. Usually it takes 500 ml for this amount of flour, or just a bit more. Depends on the type of flour. So I'll just start the mixer and it will start becoming one. Okay. And now we move on to the next part of the bread making. So, I just added a tablespoon of salt and some more flour, turning the mixer on again. And what I'm going to do next is add a very important ingredient. I will add 4 tablespoons of virgin olive oil and 2, 3, 4, just a bit more. So yes, you can see that it's, put this here, you can see that it's starting to form into dough, but it has a long way to go. Right now it has more water than it has flour, so it looks very sticky. After I add all the flour and the water, I work with it with my hands to make sure that everything is mixed properly, because sometimes the mixer doesn't really mix everything perfectly, especially when it comes to bread. I use my hands a lot, even in this part of the process, but not in this video. So what I'm doing is adding slowly the rest of the flour, and I'm going to slowly mix it all together, and then I'm going to let it rest for around 30 minutes so that it will have a chance to rise up and become nice and poofy and fluffy. And now I'm just finishing up with the flour. As you can see, I'm not a professional at this. I'm a bit random at my cooking. So I just put this back in, and I'm going to add water because there's too much flour in here right now. It's starting to mix. So just put some water, the remaining water, and I'm also going to add some boiled hot water, just a tiny bit so that it will be room temperature, not too cold, and just add that in there slowly, and then I'm gonna just let it settle and work on it, and we're gonna have a little break from the bread making while we let it rest and rise. Let's make some sandwiches. Okay, back to business. So after the short break that you just saw, that I made sandwiches and a salad, the dough was resting in order for it to rise up and become nice and fluffy. I coated the counter with flour and my hands as well, as you can see, so that the dough won't stick on the counter or my hands. I'm about to place the dough. As you see, it's nice and fluffy and soft. Turned out just the way it should, not too sticky, not too dry. I'm not an expert when it comes to baking. I'm not a baker, but I've been making bread for a long time now, and I do it the way my mother taught me, and I really enjoy the process, and I know there are many different ways to make bread, and I really enjoy doing this. What I'm doing is kneading the dough in a manner that I make sure that when it has the final shape before I put it in the oven, there won't be any air trapped in the dough, and it will be nice and smooth. And I'm still kneading. I made the kneading longer this time because I recently uploaded a video with only this part of the bread making, and people enjoyed it, so I wanted to make a longer kneading part in this video since you liked it. This time I made the bread into one big bun. Other times I cut it into 3 small ones. And since I made it one big bun this time, I had to bake it a bit longer to make sure that it baked properly to its core, this in the oven at 180 degrees for about an hour and 20 minutes. Just as a precaution, because it was quite ready at 1 hour and 10 minutes, but without preheating the oven. So this is the final shape of the bread. And now I put it on a pan. Now I would like to finish the video with a picture of a slice of this bread with peanut butter and my homemade marmalade. And I would like to finish by saying that, as you see from the title, I made this video as a thank you, because I want to thank all of you for subscribing or liking, leaving comments, watching videos that I make. It means more to me than you can imagine. And I truly enjoy making videos and sharing ideas and creativity and sharing part of me really with you, all of you, and I truly hope you enjoyed this one. It was my first video showing how I make the entire process of making bread, and I didn't really make it perfect. If you liked it, I might make another one in the future, a better one. So yes, thank you for watching, and have a beautiful day and night.